Alrighty guys, we're back for some soul training combo, and this is a Wilds of Eldraine Standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with a red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Speaking of that Patreon, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. What do we got packed into the build here? This is a combo with Agatha's Soul Cauldron, Training Grounds, Sleep-Cursed Faerie, and Omen Hawker as well. So you guys may have already seen this combo floating about, but what is it? So Agatha's Soul Cauldron is a 2-mana legendary artifact. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control. So that'll come in handy in this build. Creatures you control, with +1/+1 counters on them, have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Then the bottom ability, you can tap this, exile target card from a graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Now, Training Grounds is a 1-mana enchantment. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. Nice. Sleep-Cursed Faerie is a 1-mana 3/3 flying ward 2. It enters tapped with 3 stun counters on it, but it's in here for that bottom ability. For 1 in a blue, you untap Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Okay, that's an activated ability, so it does cost less with the Training Ground, so that'll just be 1 blue mana then, right? So Omen Hawker is a 1-mana 1/1. You can tap it to add a colorless and a blue mana. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. So what ends up happening is you want to go ahead and get both of these abilities onto the same creature using Soul Cauldron. And then on that creature that you put those abilities onto, you tap it down for the mana for activated abilities. You use that mana to untap it with the Sleep-Cursed Faerie's bottom ability. And since it costs that 1 less, you are generating an infinite amount of mana for activated abilities. So it really is that simple to get an infinite amount of mana for that. So that's cool, right? So we have to have ways to win off of activated abilities then. So on the top end here, we have Realm-Scorcher Hellkite, and we're not even looking at this as a creature. We don't even have red sources in here. We're looking at this so that way we can discard it into the grave, pick it up with Soul Cauldron, and use that bottom activated ability. So for 1 in a red, Realm-Scorcher Hellkite deals 1 damage to any target. Beautiful. So we generate an infinite amount of mana for activated abilities. We use the Soul Cauldron's top ability to spend mana as though it were mana of any color, and then we just ping the opponent to death with that Realm-Scorcher's bottom ability. That's pretty cool, but we also have other ways to wrap up the game in here too. Cards like Surge Engine will be great to swing in with. All those activated abilities will be super easy to activate in a build like this, so that's nice. The draw 3 cards for 6 mana will be relatively cheap, especially if we get like a couple Training Grounds on the board, right? Now, the draw 3 cards is activate only once in a game, so that is worth noting, right? You'd have to have multiple Surge Engines to draw even more off of that. We have cards like Hypnotic Grifter in here too, which is a 1-mana 1/2 for 3 mana. Hypnotic Grifter connives, and you don't even have to tap this or anything, so you can just keep on going with this. You got Training Grounds on the board, all of a sudden that's only 1 mana. And of course, if you're generating infinite mana anyways, then you're going to be infinitely conniving. And then maybe you can pick up like Surge Engine off of Soul Cauldron or something like that, right? And then use that Surge Engine ability to make the Grifter unblockable or something, and then just connive an infinite amount of times until it's like a 20/21 swing in unblockable. So that's pretty cool. A lot of little combos in here that'll help us wrap up the game that way. Excuse me, guys. So we have a few ways here at the front of the build to protect our creatures. A couple shore ups. This is a 1-mana instant speed. We don't get to see it too often, so I'm going to go over it. Target creature you control gets +1/+1, gains hexproof until end of turn. Nice, but I'm opting for this one as a 2-of because of the untap it ability, which could be very interesting in a deck like this. You could use like the shore up to potentially get rid of a stun counter on Sleep-Cursed Faerie or something. Or more importantly, I would say, we could tap down Omen Hawker, untap it with shore up, and then tap down Omen Hawker again, effectively ramping for 3 for activated abilities. If we haven't seen any of our other combos, that could really come in handy, huh? More protection with a couple slip out the backs. Ton of board wipes, man. Ton of board wipes in Standard. So Slip Out the Back could help us protect a key piece, right? Okay, we also have cards that help us send things to the grave, so that way we can pick it up with Soul Cauldron, like Rona, Herald of Invasion. It's a 2-mana, 1/3 legendary creature. So whenever you cast a legendary spell, you get to untap Rona. You can tap this, draw a card, discard a card. We do have a fair bit of legendaries in here to help us untap Rona, which will be good, right? Then the bottom ability is an activated ability for 5 and a black Phyrexian mana. So we'll just pay 2 in a deck like this, right? Well, I guess with the Soul Cauldron, spend mana as though it were any mana to activate those abilities. So, I mean, I guess we could pay the black source that way too. But either way, you can always flip this into Rona Tolarian Obliterator, which could also help you wrap up games as well, right? So what are some of the other legendaries that work with this? Of course, Agatha Soul Cauldron is a legendary artifact, so that'll help untap Rona. But also, we got the Reality Chip in here, hopefully helping us find pieces of the combo off the top of our deck too. So this is a 2-mana 0/4. It's got Reconfigure for 2 and a blue, which does count as an activated ability. So if you have Training Grounds, it's only going to be 1 blue mana to reconfigure this. So you may look at the top of your library at any time. As long as the Reality Chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Okay, sounds good to me, dude. Now, it being a legendary artifact creature is going to be important too, because we have Thran Spider in here. So 3-mana 2/4, and when it ETBs, you and target opponent each create a tapped Power Stone, and that Power Stone can help us cast out all the different artifacts in the deck. And then also Power Stones can be tapped for activated abilities too, so that'll be interesting. Then we also have that bottom ability, which is an activated ability where you look at the top 4 cards of your library, you may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, which could help us find like pieces of the puzzle, like Soul Cauldron, for example, which is pretty cool. Now we got more cards, or more artifacts in here, as well as legendary. This is Unctus Grand Metatect. So 3-mana, 2/4. Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. And then for a blue Phyrexian mana, until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a blue artifact in addition to its other colors and types, activate only as a sorcery. Ooh, buddy, there's a lot to go over in this build, huh? A lot of cards that we don't really get to see too often. But anyways, this helps us filter. Like if you have Unctus on the board and you're tapping Rona to get the draw and discard, and then you also get the draw and discard on the Unctus ability as well. Or for that matter, if you are untapping and tapping like the Sleep-Cursed Faerie combo with the Omen Hawker, you're just infinitely drawing and discarding off the Unctus that way anyways too, just helping you filter through the deck, get exactly what you need into the graveyard, all that other good stuff, huh? So that is pretty cool. Also here at the front of the build, we have a single Combat Courier. This is a 1-mana 1/1. And the Unearth ability is a blue mana, which happens to be an activated ability as well. Now, it doesn't cost less from Training Grounds or anything, but it's worth noting that you could unearth this with something like the Omen Hawker's mana, right? So for 2 mana, sacrifice Combat Courier, draw a card. And that is also an activated ability, which is pretty cool, man. So that could be free if you do have that Training Grounds on the board to just trade this out, draw a card. Also an artifact that we can hit off of like the Thran Spider's ability and all that other stuff. Artifact for the Unctus, which Unctus buffs it up as well. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. I think that's everything. Oh my goodness, dude. This one had a lot to go over, huh? So we got 18 islands over here, a single Soaring City, and I'm opting for a Surgical Bay. I just kind of want to try it out in here. I feel like in a deck like this where we're filtering a lot anyways, if we end up like flooding out, then we can always just like discard that and not worry about it coming out tapped. But if it's early on too, and we have to worry about it coming out tapped, if we do end up flooding out, eventually we could draw a card off of it. I don't know. I just kind of want to try it out, right? Honorable mentions, guys. Cards to help us find the combo like Consider and Sleight of Hand just didn't make the cut this time round, but I'm pretty sure this is what people are usually playing in this style of combo deck. So had to make the honorable mentions for sure. Also, counter spells. Spell Pierce, Make Disappear, Spell Stutter, all acceptable counter spells. However, since I have a couple Thran Spiders, we're giving the opponent's Power Stones. I Plus, I just don't really like counter spells in general. I'm just not playing with them this time. But yeah, honorable mentions for a reason. Also, Malevolent Hermit could have been cool as well. Okay, guys, is that everything? Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, guys, what am I expecting from the build? I'm expecting it to be relatively decent, although I think it's going to be really hard to pilot, so I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about that. I think it's going to come with a lot of tough decisions all the time. Oh, I like this opening hand, though. We don't have, like, a lot of the combo pieces, but yeah, I like this hand. A lot of creatures is fine and dandy by me. Oh, there we go. Omen Hawker. Hello, opponent. I think that's what I saw up there. I think I saw them drop the hello. Probably right into Rona. Help filter out right away instead of the Surge Engine. How do we feel about that? Guess it depends what we end up drawing off the top too, though. Harbin. Ew. Okay. Got our third mana. That's good. Maybe it is Surge Engine. Do you guys suppose we can actually outpace this? No, I'm going to get Rona. Because maybe the best way to outpace is find our combo pieces as soon as possible, right? Falling Soldier, because I was thinking like a couple turns of Surge Engine, because we could play the second Surge Engine and then have it lose the Defender, but Reality Chip, okay. Yeah, we're still 2 cards away from the combo. That's a problem. I'm not going to worry about the Sleep-Cursed Faerie untapping. Start with Rona, and we'll plug... Oh, Rona number 2. Yeah, I'll plug Rona number 2 into the grave. And let's untap that Rona with the Reality Chip. See what's on top, too. Surge Engine. Alright. Use the Rona ability now, since soldiers don't have anything with haste anyways. There's a island. Huh. If we had a protection spell, we'd keep that open, but getting the Omen Hawker down is totally fine, dude. So island is what we're drawing next turn. We might actually want to equip that Reality Chip, just to... It depends what's on top, right? It's like a 1 mana card or something. 4 mana from the opponent. Another Skystrike Officer. This is scary business, dude. Another Rona on top of the deck. Interesting. Alright. Well. Not going to equip this. Let's go with the Rona's ability. Get that Rona off the top. Maybe ditch... Okay. Omen Hawker, huh? I guess we'll ditch the Rona. Yes, right? We could attach Reality Chip if we wanted to. We could also get the blocker in the air with the Sleep-Cursed Faerie too. Get the Surge Engine down. I think this Sleep-Cursed Faerie might be safe for a turn. Okay. So we'll keep that open. I'll play the Surge Engine. Hold up. Hold up. We do have this. If okay. That's a little better, isn't it? I apologize, opponent. There's going to be a lot to think about here, huh? That on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie because of that ward, right? And then we can successfully play the Omen Hawker off the top. Ooh, Shore Up. Wow. Wow, that untaps it too. Okay. Well, end turn, we have the untap on Sleep-Cursed Faerie, but also if we need to give it hexproof or anything beforehand, or if we need to buff it, like we could buff it above the Harbin, for example. Yeah, Soldiers is going to be an uphill battle regardless, but swinging on in. All right, couple more Soldiers. Luckily, the Harbin doesn't get that ability. We're going to do our dandiest to take out that Harbin now, while keeping Sleep-Cursed Faerie alive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Instant speed removal. that would be a problem. But doing a normal untap on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie... Okay, there we go. Nice. So at that point, it just has hexproof. It doesn't have, like, indestructible or anything. So should we be expecting some form of combat trick from the opponent that buffs the Harbin? Maybe. Either way, I think we attempt to take this out. The Sky Strike officers, like, taking those out would be really good too, but... Nice, nice. Down to 7, guys. Oh boy. We have to remember we have a ton of mana from the Omen Hawkers over there too, so I'm not going to play the land that we drew because we can play lands off the top. So we're going to start with the Combat Courier. Yep, there's an island. So Reality Chip really helping us dig through the deck here. We're definitely missing some combo pieces. And I don't know if we'll be able to pull off any infinite combo this turn, but we'll see. Like, underneath this island, if we can find a Soul Cauldron. We also have to remember that we can filter with Rona, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a ton of stuff to think about in this build already. There's a ton of stuff to think about. Okay, Courier hits the board. Let's play that island. Ooh, Unctus. Oh my. Oh my. Unctus could really help us filter, but are we gonna die next turn? Maybe we... you know what? I'm gonna play Unctus. Oh, that's right. We can also filter with Rona. Unctus is legendary, so we can do this as well. I guess we'll ditch one of the Surge Engines because... Well, maybe I should have played the Thran Spider for the turn. That's all 4 Surge Engines. I'll ditch the island next. Unctus comes down, Rona untaps. Reality Chip, we don't need that. So we're going to start filtering double time through the deck here. With the Unctus ability and everything. Island. Ditch that. Draw. Ditch that. Okay. At that point, I suppose we'll tap down one of these. Another Unctus off the top. Okay, we'll get rid of the Reality Chip, right? We could transform. We do have enough mana to transform the Rona, but that... Oh! Oops. Oopsie daisies, guys. I shouldn't have tapped this yet, but I was trying to do something beforehand anyways. We luckily have the Soaring City ability here for only the 2 mana, so we're going to do that, bounce one of these Sky Strike officers. Yeah, other words, that 2 mana that we used was going to fizzle out because the plan was to attack with Sleep-Cursed Faerie, then untap it with the Omen Hawker to help us dig through even further. This is wild, man. What a wild time. Yeah, we have the untap on this so we can swing. And then Unctus, draw discard, ditch that. We also have the Combat Courier's ability if we wanted to do it that way too, but... we have 35 cards remaining in the deck, guys. Can we find more this turn is the question. Okay, Island. We found a Hypnotic Grifter, that's good. That's good news, I guess. I guess we play that then, right? Dude, the way the Reality Chip has just... The Reality Chip has been bonkers, actually, dude. Holy cow. Okay, 33 cards remaining in the deck. Sleep-Cursed Faerie is untapped. Resolute Reinforcements going wide. Are they going to buff this board state next turn is the question. Do they have another Harbin in hand or something, right? Keeping their hand nice and stocked up with the Sky Strike Officer. Yeah. Wow. For our first match, we did a lot here, man. I mean, going up... Oh, they did find the Harbin. Well, GG opponent. They found Harbin number 2 there. So we only have the block here. Good game. I'll tell you what, man. tell you what, I think we did great. I do. I think we did pretty great. Now, early on, maybe there were some decisions that I could have made a little bit different. We didn't get to see the rest of our combo there, but just like the sheer amount of filtering through the deck, we almost saw half of our deck that game, guys. On what turn was that? Turn 5, we saw half of our deck? I think so. It was like, yeah, it was turn 5, I believe. I don't know, I'll have to go back and watch, but figuring out what cards were worth discarding, that was a pretty tough decision. And I don't know if we would have been able to outpace had I went the Surge Engine route earlier, right? Instead, I tried to go for the combo route instead. Interesting. Very interesting. I think that showcased the deck well. Let's see if we can see a little bit more of the combo here. Hey, we got our new fairy. We'll go ahead and set that one as default. All right. Match number 2. Yeah, Soldiers was always going to be a very tricky deck, regardless of how much of the combo we ended up seeing, right? So, all right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? They go first. Yeah. Yeah, this is like almost everything we need. Shore up for some protection, too. Looks good, dude. Looks good. We don't have any ways to filter. Nothing to discard yet, but... Okay, Soaring City. Start with that Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Oh, actually, guys. So the thought process there was, oh yeah, get a stun counter off of that, but had we went Omen Hawker first, we could have had that ability for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie for this turn as well, so... Or, for that matter, we could have had the ability for the Hypnotic Grifter. Oh, guys, yeah, maybe it's Omen Hawker first, usually, huh? We could keep Shore Up open, but I think we're just going to play both of these. Oh, combo versus combo? This might be the Bramble Familiar deck, guys. Or the Fetch Quest. Invasion Fetch Quest combo. Rona, that's good. That's good. Keeping 3 open. Soul Cauldron's good to get onto the board. So is Rona. I think we play this as a land, right? We definitely don't want to bounce the Bramble Familiar back to their hand, that's for sure. That'd be funny. Now we can untap this. Soul Cauldron. I think it's going to be Hypnotic Grifter. We could connive this turn, or we could just hope that they don't board wipe too. I guess it's Soul Cauldron, actually, huh? We can connive on their turn, or we can untap Sleep-Cursed Faerie with both of the Omen Hawkers, which could be interesting, I guess. I guess we'll see what ends up happening here. No attacks, end turn. Oh yeah, dude, this is a deck that I would need a lot of practice with. I can feel it, dude. There's gonna be lines of play that you need to have like a little bit of practice behind, or that I would need, right? Nothing from the opponent. Okay, we're gonna go for Hypnotic Grifter's ability then. See what we see. Omen Hawker. Okay, we don't need the second one, and we can, as a matter of fact, just pick that up with the Agatha Soul Cauldron and plop that right onto the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Now all we need is Training Grounds for the infinite activated ability mana, so. Hypnotic Grifter. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna want to keep Shore Up open this time round. Let's untap this because we can outpace them, especially since... Yeah. Especially since they missed their 4th mana, unfortunately, which really sucks, but it is what it is. We got to take advantage of it while we can. Not going to connive on that. We're going to just play the Rona, have the untap ability on the Sleep-Cursed. As well, I guess we do have the connive open still, but I wanted to be able to keep open the Shore Up as well, so... Yeah, Rona can start helping us filter as well to try to... Yep, GG opponent. They missed their mana. That really sucks, man. Ah. Yeah, no, I wish the opponent would have found mana so we could have played that out, because it felt like we were really getting the ball rolling too, you know what I mean? Only missing the training grounds for the infinite activated ability mana at that point. And then once you get that infinite, like, since we had the Hypnotic Grifter, we would have just kept going for the Connive for extra damage on that. On that note, I think we were still going to be able to outpace as long as we were able to keep that Sleep-Cursed Faerie too, so I think it was totally worth keeping that Shore Up open too, just in case. Now, if they did find like a fourth and it happened to be like a board wipe or something, then we would have been in trouble, because Shore Up does not protect against board wipe. Well, it depends on the board wipe, I guess. I guess it does depend. There we go, right into the next game. Okay. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? I hope you find your mana. Soul Cauldron and Hawker. I like it. Let's do this. Opponent goes first, sure. Ooh, Hypnotic Grifter. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Hawker first, and then Island Grifter, and we can immediately connive, which is really cool. Dude, if we see Training Grounds on top, it's Island, Training Grounds, Grifter. Aw, they killed my Hawker already. If it's mono black, Surge Engine's really good. Tell you what, man. Rona's alright, I guess. I'm gonna actually go Surge Engine. I feel like that was a good draw. Yeah, Go for the Throat, I believe, is still the most played removal spell in mono black, I believe. Celestis, nice. So Cut Down can still hit that Surge Engine quite effectively. Grifter, Soul Cauldron's good. Let's make it so that way we can attack with this. Okay, it's gonna be the Hawker probably, I would say. Maybe we can use that Hawker to make the Surge Engine a 5/4 to get around cut downs, but you'd think it would have been a cut down that turn since the Celestis dropped and was open. 20 mana total should totally be enough for a while here. Like, if we don't see a third mana for another couple turns, I think we'll still be alright. Although we'll definitely want a third as soon as possible. Okay, there's the cut down. They were able to find it off the Tainted Indulgence then, I'm assuming. There we go, we found that mana. We go Unctus, swing. That's interesting, I guess. Probably Rona and Grifter for the turn. Or Grifter, Connive 1. If we keep more than one on the board, then I should be afraid of potential board wipes though, right? I don't know. Yeah, there's like there's a lot to think about here. So we keep this open for their turn, right? Because we won't be able to play anything. I guess keeping it open might... Oh, Path of Peril, guys. Oh, no. On the turn where I spam out. Okay, so what don't we mind having in the grave? I guess Thran Spider is okay to play now that we're at this point in the game. So I guess we'll ditch the Rona. Seems a little strange. Yeah, if I would have just went Rona for that last turn, we would have been a lot less punished. Unfortunately, giving them a Power Stone isn't great either, but hey, Grifter's a good draw. We still have a decent chance of accomplishing this combo, guys. We really do. Since we kept the Soul Cauldron back, we have one of the puzzle pieces in the grave already. Shieldred's Edict. Oh my goodness, the opponent is playing one of those builds, dude. That's the third Shieldred? No, they discarded one earlier. So we can successfully use the Power Stone for the Unctus, which is nice, and then we'll get Grifter down, and we're still just sitting on that Soul Cauldron, which they might struggle getting rid of, honestly, so. We're keeping consistent threats on the board, luckily. Oh my goodness, guys. This is a deck that ran all 4 Shieldred Edicts. It's no wonder they discarded one earlier, right? They must have had a lot in hand already. Opponent! Oh my goodness, if we were playing an aggro deck, we'd be in a lot of trouble, but as far as like combo decks like this go, I think we're okay. That's really funny, dude. Holy cow, man. We might as well play everything, right? I was gonna say like keep the island for the sake of discarding, but nah. We'll go Agatha. And I guess we'll hold off for the turn, right? Celestis, gain some life. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be a mill deck actually, right? With the Mindbreaker here. Defending player mills half their library rounded down. That could be scary. They don't have... Yeah, they have triple blue with Celestis for next turn if they want to unearth that and have us mill. But milling could be super scary for them. Oh, we could also take that out of the equation, huh? Maybe we should. Yeah, we probably should while we can. Even though maybe it would have been better to start grabbing the combo pieces for the Cauldron. Oh, look, it gets the Unearth ability on it. Yeah, because it's an activated ability, so. Unfortunately, this is other blue creatures you control when they become tapped. I guess we'll start with a swing. See what happens. Holy cow, guys. There wasn't removal for the Unctus. Okay, we'll keep the Agatha's Soul Cauldron open, I suppose. And we're going to put that counter on the Omen Hawker. Sheoldred. Oh my goodness, guys. 1, 2. Let's grab the Surge. Let's keep Unctus. And let's try to get damage through a different way here. Let's go Surge Engine from our grave. Oop. It's kind of hard to click on cards sometimes. Okay. You can't be blocked anymore. And you have a base power 4, 5. That's a 7/6. Ooh, Surge Engine off the top. That's pretty decent, actually, huh? We'll do this now since it can't be blocked, right? And we'll finally grab the... Actually, Hypnotic Grifter would be good too, huh? I guess that could work because then we can connive. And then see what we see. Island. Yeah, no, we're just going to play that Surge Engine for the turn, huh? Swing. 8 getting through. Guys, this is good. This is terrific, actually. That's the Surge Engine also getting the buff from the Unctus here. Really comes down to how much more removal do we think the opponent is going to slam down, because this was an excessive amount of removal, man. Oh, they activate Sheoldred. Each opponent destroy up to 1. Oh. Yeah, since we had activate 8 or more cards in the grave. Yeah, that's not good. That's not terrific, guys. Rona's fine. Let's go ahead. Omen Hawker. Yeah, we don't have all the puzzle pieces yet, surprising. I'm genuinely surprised that we don't have all the puzzle pieces, though. This probably isn't going to be enough damage. That's another 3. We could connive instead. Could tap it down, but yeah, we don't have the untap, unfortunately. Yeah, tough. It's tough, guys. We're just going to go for maximum amount of damage here, as bad as that could be. We could still tap it to get the connive, but no, I don't think so. All right, swinging for 6. Really cool. Like, even if you don't see the combo, look at this damage we're just slamming through, dude. Rona was actually a good draw because any creature is a good draw. I forgot about the discard on that, guys. Oh no, another Sheoldred. Guys, send help. Send help. This deck is brutal, dude. Oh no. Now we saw an island. Okay, this is about to flip into the other Sheoldred anyway, so it was gonna have us discard. But Soul Cauldron having all these is terrific. We're going to keep the island because we don't have the discard next turn. So we just keep the Soul Cauldron's ability open in case we need to... Oh, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, no, we that includes our grave, so I guess that's that, huh? What do we want to pick up here before they get it? I guess one of the Ronas? I don't even know. One of the surge engines? Dude, brutal list, man. Now, yeah, they only get to keep one Unctus and one Rona. Other than that, they only get to keep one Shieldred, yep. Can we still get that 3 through? Probably not. Probably not. They get a draw on the Tainted Indulgence as well. Man, we really slammed damage through. I wonder if I missed 3 damage somewhere along the way where I could have potentially been a little bit more aggressive. They go for the mill on the Mindbreaker. It's actually a pretty cool deck from the opponent. Like, sure, we got absolutely obliterated with removal, which can be annoying, but like, this is actually pretty neat. The whole like True Scriptures theme with the mill on the Mindbreaker. I can appreciate this, opponent. Oh, that gets haste. Guys, all we got to do is give it a counter. As a matter of fact, Realm-Scorcher, sure. They need removal for this, guys. The Unearth gains haste. Oh my goodness. I lost all hope, but our one of Combat Courier. Oh my goodness, guys. I was like, oh yeah, we'll use this to draw real quick. And then you see it hit the board and you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, Unearth has haste. And then we could give it the unblockable from the Surge Engine. That was like, I can't, like, can we even call that lucky? I don't even know, because yeah, like we had that one of in there. It just worked out a little bit too well because they milled half of our library. That is awesome, dude. Holy cow. All right, we're 37 minutes in. We definitely have time for 1 or 2 more depending on how the games go. A good time so far, guys. It's kind of melting my brain a little bit, but overall I think we're doing fine. Right, guys. No, yeah, I think it's a deck that I would need a lot more practice with. Ooh, 1 mana. We go first finally. I think this is the first game today we're going first, I think. Okay, let's give it a shot, dude. Let's give it a shot. I think it's been going relatively well so far, so. And we do have a couple turns here before we actually need the 2nd mana. And we also have a lot of our combo pieces. Everything. Oh, there we go. Nice. I guess we just set up, right? Actually, like Surge Engine. Well, now let's set up for the turn. Sleep-Cursed Faerie. And we'll just use the Omen Hawker ability to get a stun counter off of that. Try to outpace a little bit. We can actually get 2 counters off if we had the Soul Cauldron on the board. But... yeah, that has ward too, so it should be safe for a couple turns. Oh. All right, let's use that. Yeah, it only costs 1 because of the training grounds. Really? Oh, that's a shame. I wonder what they had in hand that made them want to to concede so early. Well, I'd say that was definitely still worth the showcase of our hand and just like showcasing how consistent like the early turns can be too. Like, yeah. So far, you just don't need to combo off. You can just do a thing still, regardless, right? So, cool. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? This has been a wild time so far. Sleep-Cursed Faerie, Surge Engine. Oh. Okay. Yeah, just I wonder if we'll get to actually do the combo today, but like I said, I guess it technically doesn't even matter. Oh, there we go. We got our Hawker. Probably Grifter then? No. Probably, well, I was gonna say Grifter and then Connive immediately, but... Oh, I guess they're gonna make something cost more here anyways. Maybe like Unctus, just take it out of the game for a while. But there's a lot here that they... See, they know we only have 2 islands total right now. So getting rid of one of our 2 mana cards, yeah, like Surge Engine, yep, that is a good pick, opponent, I would say. I'd say that's pretty good. They keep Skrelv back. I guess they expected a trade there. So Sleep-Cursed Faerie's fine. Reality Chip is fine. I guess it's get our 1 mana cards down, all of them. Then use that Hawker to get rid of a stun counter on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie when it comes time, right? Oh, this can't block, but yeah, no. We definitely just want to remove a stun counter and outpace them that way, I would say. Finding the 3rd mana is pretty good. Right into Unctus next turn lets us filter, like, way too much, bro. Okay, keeping that Skrelv for protection. Let's go ahead, activate this, get rid of a stun counter. All right, so Unctus. Yeah, it's Unctus. It's Unctus. Although now, yeah, we start filtering off of Omen Hawker then. And do we do that on our turn? Probably, I would say. Could have the Grifter gain a little bit here. That's 2 cards tapped down. Actually, I like that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I guess we can activate that ability. We can... I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Take a little bit of damage. Grifter, it's going to be a blue artifact creature. We swing with it. We filter. Right? If we swing with it, they have a terrific block, so... We want to get it to a 2/3 first, is what I'm getting at there. And we filter, probably ditch the reality chip, although... Oh, I guess we don't need that 4th mana, huh? Yeah, we don't need that. Also, getting Sleep-Cursed Faerie to the grave would have been good too, but... Yeah, the 4th mana is unnecessary right now, I would say. And then we could filter again, but we might as well do it on their turn. And the filter's with the Omen Hawker here. Unctus has been terrific so far, huh? Uppercoat Vanguard, alright. Got some potentially mono-white humans over there. We have a terrific block. However, they can call blue with Skrelv and then flip the invasion. So we're going to want to wrap this up as soon as possible, dude, because this could be an overwhelming amount of force coming out of the opponent's build. See if we see that Soul Cauldron this game too, because it might end up being the last match. Yep, so they can swing on by without any blocks. Invasion flips. Hopefully we won't need to target any of them anyways. The problem here is, yeah, the +1/+1 counters every turn is a big problem. Alright, we'll go ahead and activate this now. Get rid of that stun counter. Okay, yeah, we'll ditch Unctus number 2. We don't need that. A lot of filtering potential for the turn here. Swinging on the ground, that just doesn't, that's just not terrific, man. The Sleep-Cursed Fairies are pretty good. We might be able to win in the air before it comes time. Okay. So we'll swing with Sleep-Cursed Faerie, and we'll filter out the reality chip. As much as I want to see the combo, I think, well, Actually, now I actually want that mana. Now I actually want more mana on the board. That way I can do a little bit more with these fairies and stuff every turn. Because getting these to untap as soon as possible is going to be essential, I would say. And yeah, no more filtering for us. Now we have 2 untaps available. I wonder if we end up spreading it out, or... We'll see, we'll see. Maybe we untap this one for a combat trick, for example. We'll do all that on the opponent's turn. Either way, this is an overwhelming amount of flying power if we can get those untapped as soon as possible here. Coppercoat Vanguard. Let's see, they're at 13. They can make... Wow, they're operating on 2 mana right now, too. You know what I overlooked on Spellbook Vendor? The fact that it's a human. That's pretty cool. That's a cool addition to humans, man. I like that. We can untap Sleep-Cursed Faerie and block the Vanguard. Actually, we can block both of these. Or, like I said, we can just go for an overwhelming amount of flying power and try to win that way. I think we can successfully take 8 without having to worry too much. So yeah, I think we go for the untaps. And I think we'll end up... See, this is still a really good block for us. But I'm gonna risk it, dude. Oh, we could chump. We could. Nope. Nope. These are also both gonna get a counter as well. Down to 10. Anyone's game, dude. Oh, this has Vigilance. Oh, that's actually... That's pretty bad. Maybe I should have blocked there. Maybe. Let's see, they're both gonna untap it. I guess we just go into 1 then. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We also have the 4 mana for the Surge Engine now, too. Oops. We just lost Training Grounds to the Unctus ability. Draw a card, then discard a card, because it's not a you may. So we just lost Training Grounds to that, guys. Oh no, that would have been so good. That would have been so good, guys. Rona's decent. Surge Engine blocks really well past the Skrelv, though. Like, we can successfully block. Yeah, that's better. Alright, unfortunately, it's Surge Engine for the turn. And do we still try our dandiest? So we're going to be forced to block something next turn. If they find 3rd mana, Brutal Cathar, the Surge Engine, we're probably in trouble. Alright. Risking it for days, dude. Let's get 3 through. That way, maybe next turn we'll just have 9 in the air. Island. No, we don't need that. Down to 8. 9 in the air next turn, potentially. Let's see what ends up happening here. Actually, this is a 4-3 because Unctus buffs artifacts. They found the 3rd. Is it going to be that Brutal Cathar for the Surge Engine? Bro. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is bad. Can we activate the Unctus ability? Activate only as a sorcery. If we make it blue, then they call blue on... Why do I want to make it blue? What was I doing there? What was my brain thinking? I don't know what I was thinking there. Yeah, no. For some reason, I was thinking, like, changing the color would matter, but I literally don't know why. That's funny. So it's probably full swing. They go ahead and they activate. Yeah, so finding the 3rd for the Brutal Cathar was huge for them, because Surge Engine not being able to block whatever they activate with Skrelv. Luckily, we do have chump blockers for days for the other creatures, and we still have 9 in the air potentially. Yeah, chump blockers for days, so they can swing, activate Skrelv's ability. They get 6 through, and then we chump the other 2 and make sure we keep the Omen Hawker. That way we can untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie all the way next turn. Actually, we only need 4, huh? because it untaps, it'll be 1 stun counter, then we activate twice, and then another 2, and then it's 9 in the air. Beautiful, guys. Wow. Yeah, I don't think there's a way through for the opponent here. And even so, if we don't have enough to untap this... Okay, so all we gotta do is chump then, because they kept the Skrelv back. So we can chump there, and there, and that's fine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that they could possibly do. No life gain or anything. It took them a while to find that 3rd plains, but... yeah, they can activate the Light Shield Array to protect the Vanguard. And they couldn't activate the Skrelv because they know that the Sleep-Cursed Faerie... like, if we didn't have the untap on this, though. But we do have the untap, so... Also, we had the Omen Hawker for that turn, too, which is pretty wild, man. And that still filters with the Unctus as well. That's so cool, dude. That's a pretty cool build. Anyways, we activate this. Yeah, hey, good game, opponent. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Sleep-Cursed Faerie can be wild, man. And seeing 2 of those, 2 more of those was really, really good for us. So if we view the battlefield, 41 cards in, compared to 48. So we saw 7 more cards than the opponent, which really just shows the power level of filtering through the deck. Unctus was kind of really good today, wasn't it? Haha, sweet, dude. Wow. 51 minutes in. I apologize that the deck took me a little bit of extra time to go over. There's just so many little things in here to go over, and a lot of cards that we don't get to see too often. Yeah. Here's the list again. I'm surprised we actually aren't seeing an uptick in this style of combo deck. It's pretty fun. I like it, dude. Didn't get to actually get the combo rolling. We do have to see the 4 cards to get the infinite amount of activated ability mana, but as you guys saw, it doesn't really matter if we even see the, if we even get the ball rolling. Realistically, we just have so many great ways to actually deal damage and keep up pace really nicely with, like, I'd say especially the Surge Engine, right? The Surge Engine's, like, unblockability and just being able to get it up to a 5/4 and then, like, put that effect on other creatures is just absolutely disgusting, dude. I do like the choice protection that we have in the build, and I really enjoyed Reality Chip as well as Unctus in here too. I didn't get to like do too much with Rona today, but I do think that all 4 of them is going to be necessary, and since it pairs so well with the extra legendaries that we have packed in here too, I think that's going to be fine and dandy. We didn't really get to see Thran Spider do too much today either. However, I think the Power Stones really helped out overall, didn't it? I think so, at least. A lot of these games, I kind of just want to go back and watch again just to see where I could have optimized a little bit more, because as I was saying while we were playing those games, it feels like a deck that I would need a lot of practice with to actually run well. I wouldn't change too much, dude. I actually think this was a solid configuration of numbers and everything. So on that note then, more testing required for sure, right? Like, we play another 20 games, then after those 20 games, I would say, well, this is what we're seeing, and I guess we need to drop one of these, go up one of these or something, you know? Like, if you're seeing a lot more spot removal than what we saw today, we did see a fair amount of spot removal, but still, if we're seeing a lot more, then maybe we want another protection spell or something. Dude, that one of Combat Courier, unearthing that, using the Soul Cauldron, getting the Surge Engine abilities onto that, like, at a hasty speed, I don't think that that was like a one-time thing. I think that might actually be a thing that comes into play again in a different game or more often, right? But that being said, I don't think we want 2 of these, but I think that's definitely like we're packing in a lot of tempo damage in the air and stuff and through the unblockable with the Surge Engine, and the opponent's doing their dandiest to keep up with all that anyways. And maybe they do, and they get rid of everything, but you still have that Combat Courier ready to go in the grave, and on that next turn after a board wipe or something, unearth it, has that haste, use that Soul Cauldron, get that Surge Engine ability. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a one-time thing. I think that would actually happen a lot more often than we would think. So I would keep this as a one of, and depending on how often that actually does come into play, maybe we do want to consider 2 of these, right? I think the 20 mana was fine. I think that if you're not seeing a lot of mana, 21 would be fine. And if you're seeing too much mana, 19 would be fine. All that being said, yeah, dude, I think the 20 mana, I think that's completely fine, especially since you do want to see 3 for Unctus and or Thran Spider as well. So didn't get to see Surgical Bay do too much, but coming out tapped, I don't think it's going to affect this deck but pretty much at all. I mean, it'll slow down some early turns sometimes, but when we're just like doing rapid filtering between Unctus and Rona and everything else in here too, I don't think it's going to hold you up. And then worst comes to worst, you just discard it out of your hand and find an island that you can play untapped anyways, right? Yeah, dude. Awesome. I had a really fun time with this one, guys. So I hope you guys had just as much fun. Thanks again for the suggestion over in the Patreon section of the Discord. The suggestion was essentially to try out just a training grounds deck. Where is our training ground? There it is. I'm sitting here like rearranging the deck and getting lost. Try out a training grounds deck, and yeah, this was a really fun time. So thank you again. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.